Hey there YouTube, this is SJM4306. In today's video, we're going to be talking about PCBs. Today we'll be looking at a part of the PCB design process, the DFM. This video has been sponsored by NextDFM. Check out the link in the description to download this program from their site. Design for manufacture is basically the last step you do before clicking that order button. It's an automated check to make sure that what you design can physically be made and work as intended. Most PCB manufacturers will do their own DFM when you upload the board files onto their site, and most PCB editing software will have their own DFM checker built into it. So you might be asking yourself, why should you use a separate DFM program like NextDFM? Because doing one check from only one source might not always catch all the potential errors that can come back to really bite you after you receive the boards, after it's too late to fix them. This is why I go for a three-step approach on every board that I design, and that'll cut down on easily avoidable errors. 1. I configure referencing the PCB manufacturer's capabilities, which is specified on their website, and run the DFM within my PCB CAD editor. In this case, I use Eagle. 2. I run a second check using NextDFM with the exact same criteria. 3. And finally, a big step is to use both the simulation and design image modes within NextDFM to visually inspect for obvious flaws that might affect soldering or use of the final board that isn't necessarily caught with automated checking software. If there are any problems that pop up during any of the previous three steps, then I go back to the PCB editor, I fix them, and then I rerun the checks all over again. Once the board has passed all of these steps, I can be fairly confident that there aren't going to be any major problems with the board itself, and I can freely place the order at that point. So here's NextDFM loaded up. All we need to do is load or unzip Gerbers, and the interface will display each layer in a different color. Alternatively, you could switch to the display mode to render what the final board will look like. Here we can set the parameters obtained by the PCB manufacturer, like minimum feature size or routing requirements, etc. Once we're happy with the settings, we can run the automated DFM check. This can take a few minutes to complete depending on the board complexity, so take a break and grab a snack. Okay, a few minutes later, here's the finished results on my board. We can see a few potential issues, marked by red or orange icons. The green ones pass, so they're good. Clicking on an error or warning icon will bring up a window where you can see exactly where the error warning is located on the board physically, as well as see why it failed that step. Here I find a tiny dangly trace that I forgot to delete when I was designing the board, and within this very software I can easily delete it without having to reopen Eagle and regenerate all the Gerbers. Here are a couple more potential issues that I manually check through to decide if I really need to fix them or if they're okay to ignore. And that's basically it for a quick overview of how to use NextDFM and how it could be a really useful tool when checking boards before placing an order. Once again, huge thanks to NextDFM for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.